Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I hope you're doing well. This is CryptoArk, and today we're going to talk about Fibonacci. What is so special? What is so important about this little tool here that everyone loves and for some reason has some magnets attached to it, right? Let's understand what is going on here. So before we draw the tool, before we talk about the tool itself and the configuration and how it works, what is the best way to predict future prices? I also have a tip on that. Let's understand first what is Fibonacci, right? Of course, let's go back to the golden source of information of the word, the Google or Wikipedia, right? So if you Google it, you're going to find out that Fibonacci was brought to the world to a guy called Leonardo da Pizza, right? Was a mathematician. His name has nothing to do with Fibonacci at that point, right? It was just later on. But the actual Fibonacci sequence was first introduced by an Indian mathematician. That is very unknown because Leonardo was the one bringing that to the Western world, right? Leonardo was the one saying, hey, this is the real sequence. But the Indian mathematician was the first one to find out about it. And what is special about this sequence, right? What the heck is that? Let's understand first, what is the sequence? So here, down here is the sequence, right? So ignore this part right here because he's just explaining about the index of, the numbers. But here's the actual Fibonacci sequence. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, da, 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 da. So we usually count as this, right? 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, da, da, da. But in order to make it work, we have to start with 0. Right? Basically, the idea of Fibonacci sequence is you have 0 and you have 1. And then you start adding one to the other to form the next number in the sequence. So it's a given. You assume you start with 0 and 1. And then you add 0 to 1, you get the next one, which is 1. When you add 1 to 1, you get the next one, which is 2. When you add 2 to 3, you get the next one, which is 5. 5 to 3, it is 8, and so on, right? So you get the idea. Why is this so important? Because that's how nature works. So it's not the sequence that is magical. The nature is magic, right? You're going to find that same ratio everywhere in nature. In flowers, shells, sea creatures, sea things, everywhere. Even in the galaxy, right? In the universe, you're going to find out those things. In the human body, you're going to find out why. Well, the answer is much simpler than we think. Nature is perfect, in my opinion. I have reasons to believe that. I don't believe nature is somehow imperfect. What is imperfect is our understanding about imperfection. But anyways, that's a different topic. So nature has a special way to organize things. When nature knows that, hey, I have to distribute the number of seeds or the number of shells or the number of spaces, but I have to optimize the space. How do I do it? Well, there is an ideal answer, and this is the ideal answer, right? The answer follows this sequence, or maybe this sequence reflects the sequence. This sequence reflects the pattern, right? That's the best way to utilize space and to make no waste. Nature doesn't like to make waste, right? So that's the secret behind Fibonacci. Now, what is even more interesting, right? And this is something magical about nature. Another mathematician later on, not Fibonacci, figured out that if you take any two following numbers, sequence numbers in Fibonacci, any of those, right? You take 55 and 34, 34 and 21, and you divide one by the other, right? Let's try. 55 divided by 34. Oops, 34. You get 1.617. Now, if you divide 34 by 21, what you get is 1.619. So you see how close those numbers are? We have an answer, approximately answer, right? This ratio is 1.618. This is what we call golden ratio, because any two numbers, even the 2 and 1, if you take that, it's considered the 2 and 1, of course. If you take that you're gonna find out this ratio, right? So that's magic. Kind of, because as I said, you just consider the first two, just, to accommodate on your theory. So the guy that came with this golden ratio, that's the theory, that's how he did it. Now, we understand what is Fibonacci, we understand what is it for, let's apply it to the chart. The tool that I like to use is the Fibonacci retracement tool. On TradingView, you're gonna find out that there's Fibonacci retracement and extension. It's just a matter of the way you draw things. Like in Fibonacci extension, you have to draw 3 points instead of 2. You go from one point to another point and then back again. That's how you draw it. I want to avoid, clicking too much. You guys know me. I hate noise. So retracement is just 2 points. And in fact, the sequence, right, is what matters. The golden pocket is what matters. So let's talk about that right now. Let me start over. When you go back to the trading view, I'm going to apply defaults here. This is what you see, right? This is the tool you get by default, which is horrible in my opinion. So if you come here, a newbie guy, and say, hey, what is the retracement of this guy? I'm going to draw from the top to the bottom, and then you get something like this. And then you say, well, it's not matching. That's weird. Everyone said that that's going to work. No, because you're drawing it wrong. Because TradingView is the default configuration is shit, right? If you draw from here to here, again, it's going to be very shitty. You're going to spot few things. The golden ratio is here, right? Is there, but it's not configured. So let's configure it properly. Let me get to a clean space like this. So we talk exclusively about Fibonacci, right? When you draw a Fibonacci retracement, from top to bottom, this is what you see. And remember the golden pocket, the golden ratio is that 618. It's here, right? It's just the understanding that is different because this is a retracement. It's supposed to be drawn in the inverse, like this, right? It's supposed to be from top to the bottom to understand what is going on or where it's going to retrace. And this is your golden pocket. 618. I would say the real golden pocket that trade off is the 618 to 786. However, of course, those numbers are ridiculous. So what I do, I change the Fibonacci a little bit. I draw from bottom to top when I'm 1 to long. Let me apply my template now. And those are the numbers that I like. You see, I just changed the numbers. 382, 236, but the golden pocket is still the same, still here, and this is what I'm looking for. So when the price moves from the bottom to the top, I want to look for a retrace. Where is going to be my retrace? On here, on this golden pocket, right? So let's forget this TradingView default horrible thing, and let's talk about my configuration. What I do, you go to the settings, right? You double hit here or hit the wheel, the gear icon, and then you have those settings. I hit reverse. I like to show prices as well. I show levels as values, and that's my configuration, right? Here in yellow, this is my golden pocket, 382, 236. That's just the inverse of the golden ratio that we find in Fibonacci, right? Remember the golden ratio? Yeah, not this website. Yeah, this guy, golden ratio, 168. Yeah, perfect. We're going to get to that number just by inverting, right? So that's how I do. And then I go on every single multiple of 618. Basically 618, and then here. Yeah, keep going. 2618. All multiples of 2, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, yeah, all of them, all the way to 24, 32. We're going to talk about that later, maybe another video, because this is too much. Let's focus on the golden ratio for now, but this is very, very good for price prediction. Anyways, so this is my golden ratio, right? So when the price, it's here, moves up, I mark the top, I expect a retrace on this area. Is that clear? Perfect. Let's apply that to the chart. Let's see how that goes. There you go. Here, this looks like a perfect Fibonacci. Let's see if it's a perfect Fibonacci, right? The price just went down and then went up. And then you say, wow, it's moving up. Okay, don't fumble, right? Don't fumble. See the indication? It's going to reverse. The price will come back. So wait. What you should do now, use Fibonacci. From the bottom to the top, and then you wait for what? Guess golden ratio. Guess where you get the reversal sign on my indicator. Yes, right at the Fibonacci golden pocket. It cannot be easier than that, right? You want to try it again? Let's go back and just try. Let's check another. This is manipulation, so definitely is not going to work. Let's go to a higher time frame, you know, maybe 4 hour. There you go. Perfect. Here, again, looks like a Fibonacci is playing out, right? So I get the tool. From the swing low, you're looking at this movement, right? You just, wow, I'm going to FOMO. Don't FOMO yet, right? Don't FOMO yet. From the bottom to the top, guess where the price is going to retrace. Yes, right there, right? Right close to the Fibonacci. And if you go to smaller time frames, you're probably going to find out that my indicator is going to give you a reversal sign around that level as well. Not that my indicator is, of course, using Fibonacci behind the scenes, but that's the beauty of the market, right? The other confluence that I have inside will give you the same hint, right? This guy went up, it's gonna went down here. Again, same thing. If you draw this Fibonacci from here to here, you're probably gonna find out the same spots, right? So this is how I use Fibonacci. This is how we should use Fibonacci. Next video, I'm gonna talk about price prediction, which is a very, very cool technique that we can use to explore those other levels. Like, what are those other levels that I have in my Fibonacci tool? Why do I have so many levels, like all the way to 32? Yes, we're gonna talk about that in the next video. See you guys there. You know the drill. Hit the like, hit the notification, the subscribe, bell button, all of that, share, like, and see you on the next one. Bye.